Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Twins Weekend Baseball with your host, TribeFan879, where we will go over the offline games played for 3 out of the 4 games against the Red Sox and 1 game out of 2 against the Braves and a makeup game against the Orioles. And we'll start with game 95, which is Tyler Duffy against Stephen Wright. And in the top half of the second, after a 1-out walk to Robbie Grossman, a 2-run home run by Eddie Rosario puts the Twins up 2-0. The Twins would double their lead in the third inning when, after a leadoff double by Miguel Sano, Brian Dozier goes deep, and that makes it 4-0 Twins. The Twins would add more to their lead in the top half of the fourth. A 1-out solo home run, his second of the game for Eddie Rosario, and that makes it 5-0. And you would have thought the Twins would have been on their way, but this is the Red Sox, and they fight. And in the bottom half of the fourth inning, David Ortiz with a leadoff double, and then Jackie Bradley Jr. with a 1-out 2-run homer. That cuts the deficit to 5-2. The Red Sox would tie the game in the bottom half of the fifth. A leadoff double by Brock Holt, and then another double by Mookie Betts. That scores Holt to make it 5-3. Pedroia would walk to put runners on first and second, and then a ground out moves runners up to second and third by Bogarts, and then David Ortiz with a 2-run single, and that made it 5-5, and that would be the scoring for that. And then the Twins would add 2 in the seventh. This would be the end of the day for Stephen Wright. A leadoff single by Joe Mauer. He goes to second on a single by Miguel Sano. They both move up a base on a single by Brian Dozier to load the bases. And then Max Kepler with a 2-run double. That makes it 7-5. The Red Sox would try to get closer in the bottom half of the eighth. This is off of Ryan Presley. A 1-out double by David Ortiz, and then followed promptly by a double by Hanley Ramirez. That made it 7-6, but the Red Sox would get no closer. Buddy Boshears would get the win in relief, and Trevor May, giving Brandon Kinsler a day off, gives the Twins the win. And that would put them at a 39-56 record going into game 96, which was Kyle Gibson and Eduardo Rodriguez. And Rodriguez pitched a masterpiece, but we'll get to that in a second here. All right, bottom half of the first, the Twins used a little bit of speed and some small ball. Mookie Betts' leadoff walk, taking advantage of Juan Centeno's poor arm. He steals second and forces an overthrow, and he goes to third. And then Dustin Pedroia promptly singles him home to make it 1-0 Red Sox. However, the Twins would tie the game in the top half of the third. A leadoff single by Juan Centeno. He goes to second on a single by Robbie Grossman, and then scores on a double by Joe Mauer. They tried to bring Grossman home all the way from first, but a great relay throw from Holt to Bogarts to Leone, and he's out at the plate. So the Twins could have had more, but no, they decided to do it. Probably not such a bad idea either. That tied the game at 1. The Red Sox would break the tie in the bottom half of the sixth. Jackie Bradley Jr. with a leadoff home run off of Kyle Gibson. That made it 2-1. Gibson would be done after a double by Mookie Betts, but Abad would get the final out in the sixth before any more runs would score. Abad would be involved in the scoring in the seventh for the Red Sox. He gives up a leadoff double to Bogarts. After a ground out to David Ortiz, they bring on Trevor May. They bring on Trevor May, and he gives up a double to Hanley Ramirez, and that makes it 3-1. And then Travis Shaw, whose dad Jeff pitched for the Indians and the Reds, hits a 2-run homer for the coup de grace, a 5-1 lead. However, the Red Sox would have to fight through the ninth. They tried to let Rodriguez finish the game. He got the first batter out, but walked the next person, Robbie Grossman. So they bring on Noe Ramirez, knowing they still had a 5-1 lead. And Ramirez strikes out Mauer, but a single by Brian Dozier puts runners on first and third. And then Miguel Sano doubles, and that scores both Grossman and Dozier. And Max Kepler came up as the tying run, so they bring in Brad Ziegler for the save, and he gets Kepler to bounce to second. And the Red Sox win 5-3. Wow. So Gibson gets the loss. Eduardo Rodriguez with the win. All right, game 97 was played on the channel. If you would like to go back and watch people rip me for leaving David Price in the game too long, go for it. You'll understand why when you see it. And then game 98, it was Tommy Malone against Rick Porcello. I won't go into pitch-by-pitch details. It was ugly. It looked more like a football score. Twins get 6 runs in the first. Various hits and walks and hit-by-pitches. Well, I'll let this sit here and you can kind of digest that. 3-run homer by Miguel Sano in the 4th inning made it 9-0. Dustin Pedroia would hit a home run in the 4th to get the Red Sox on the board. They would make it 9-3. However, the Twins would add runs on. Vargas with a solo home run, and other runs scored. 15-3 was your final. Tommy Malone gets the win, and Porcello gets the loss. Miguel Sano with 4 RBIs in the game helps out the Twins. And we will go to game 99, which was Lucas Harrell against Irvin Santana. And this would almost be all Twins. Bottom half of the first inning, the Twins get going. Eduardo Nunez triples, and then Joe Mauer playing fundamental baseball, sacrifice fly to the right field. That brings home Nunez, and it's 1-0. And we go to the bottom half of the 4th. Leadoff walk to Mauer. And after a flyout by Miguel Sano, a triple by Brian Dozier scores Mauer from first. And then, once again, more fundamental baseball by the Twins. Another sacrifice fly brings home Dozier, and it's 3-0 after 4. The Braves would score their only run in the top half of the 6th. Freddie Freeman with a 1-out solo home run. And then the Braves bullpen would collapse after that. Hunter Cervenka came in the bottom half of the 8th. Got the first 2 outs. And then 2-out walk to Mauer. And when you give up 2-out walks, bad things usually happen. And Miguel Sano and Brian Dozier go back-to-back. And that makes it 6-1. They brought in Dario Alvarez, and he gives up back-to-back doubles to Max Kepler and Kenny Vargas. And that made it your final 7-1. Lucas Harrell with the loss. Irvin Santana went 6 for the win. All right, game 100 was played on the channel. That got uploaded on Saturday, today, depending on when this gets uploaded. I believe this will get uploaded the same day as well. The final game was a makeup game against the Orioles. Ubaldo Jimenez against Kyle Gibson. And Ubaldo Jimenez actually didn't pitch that bad. He had his one rough spot, the bottom half of the 3rd. Walked Eduardo Nunez, stole second, scored on a Robbie Grossman double. And then Joe Mauer singles home Grossman. And that made it 2-0. And then the scoring would be over in the top half of the fourth. A one-out home run by Jonathan Scope. Jimenez actually didn't pitch bad. He went 7 innings, gave up 2 runs. That probably would make Buck Showalter very happy. However, the Twins were just too good. Gibson and 4 relievers get the win, with Kinsler getting the save in the 9th. The Twins' record now is 43-58 after 101 games. And if you're wondering about the next series, I will let you know about that in just 1 second here. Let's see here. So the next series is against the White Sox, I believe. Let me do this. Yes. So the White Sox series is a 3-game series, and the one that will be played on the channel is Carlos Rodon against Irvin Santana. And then the next series is a 4-game series in Cleveland against the Indians. And the game that will be played on the channel is Hector Santiago against Mike Sunshine Clevenger. If you want to know why he's nicknamed Sunshine, think of Ronnie Bass from Remember the Titans and his long hair. All right, gentlemen, that's all for this Twins Weekend Baseball. I hope you enjoyed all the games that were played on the channel for this last Twins Weekend Baseball for the month of July. The next update will be July and going into August. So whatever games you are playing, may your games be lively and your games be good. Have a good rest of the day, everybody.